What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 161 Report podcast. Man, oh man, do we have a good one in store for you today. Bobby, how you
Oh,
feeling, man?
man, this is great. Aaron Judge. After everything we had to go through last night, oh my God. And then waking up this morning to a beautiful news. Aaron Judge is a Yankee for life.
Wow, man. That's kind of what we were hoping for, but actually saying that now is like it's just crazy to me. Dude,
Yeah.
9 years, $360 million.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there. Jeez.
I don't really want to talk about that part, but I'm gonna I'm choosing to ignore that for now, and then maybe we'll address that maybe on year 6 or 7 of the contract. That's when I'm gonna start to pretend to notice it.
Yeah.
But they had to do what they had to do. Um, they did their job.
Yeah.
Shout out Hal Steinbrenner.
Yeah, man. Hal has been getting a lot of shit from Yankee fans over the
And
last, I
us.
don't know, from us too, yeah, from for the last couple of years. And I think we just need to give him credit finally because
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, the reports that we have gotten out today, the personal phone call that Hal made to Judge before everything was finalized. I think Hal did a phenomenal job. I mean, yeah, the money, it's a little worrisome. It's not really the money, it's more the years.
Right.
But I mean, that's exactly what needed to happen. So, I mean, yeah, we might be having to talk about this, as you said, in later years. But to be honest, though, I mean, this is what needed to be done. I'm
Yeah.
happy with the outcome. Yeah, Aaron Judge, Yankee for life.
Yeah. And probably soon to be captain, you would think. I'm sure that had to do something to do with that phone call. I'm
Yeah,
sure that got brought up sometime during these negotiations. But like the big takeaway, well, a couple big takeaways. Obviously, Aaron Judge is like the face of the franchise, and he's the biggest piece of the franchise since Jeter,
yeah.
really. So for the Yankees to be able to retain him is is it crazy to say that it's like one of the biggest contracts, like obviously money wise,
Hmm.
in Yankee history? Like one of the biggest moves in Yankee history? Or one of the
No,
most,
it's
I'm trying to think of a better word other than biggest, but
yeah, it's like I mean, you're not only taking money into consideration, but you're taking the impact that it has on the team.
right.
And you're 100% right. This whole Judge thing, I mean, from the moment that he became a free agent has just been, I mean, this whole offseason was about Judge.
Yeah.
And
The whole
and
season.
it really
Well,
was.
even not even with the record from day one when he rejected the extension.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's gonna have a huge impact on this team for the next 9 years. Now it's just crazy to sit here and think about just unraveling this whole entire thing. But no, it's definitely not crazy to say that this is a very big contract in every sort of the way. It's the biggest since Jeter, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is. And but just because of the competition that the Yankees had to get him back, the
Yeah.
Giants obviously we know. I think it was the same. Their offer was the same as the Yankees, if I'm not mistaken. It was
The
like 9 for 360.
It was
I can't.
somewhere, it was the ballpark range. I'm not entirely sure on the Giants offer, but I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah,
The San Diego Padres, dude, does anybody want to play for them?
yeah. I don't know what's up with
Because
that.
Judge turned down 40 million extra and a year extra. And Trey Turner also signed for 42 less million with the Phillies.
Yeah,
So I don't know what's going on with San Diego there. Obviously, nobody wants to play for him, I guess. I don't
yeah.
know. But yeah. So yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
crazy that, sorry to cut you off, that
yeah.
like he went to San Diego yesterday. You flew in last night or whatever
Mhm.
it was, but he went there apparently to meet with the Padres, which
Yeah, which
nobody
we
saw coming.
no, definitely not. That was like a very big mystery team in there. And I think when Judge got that offer, he had to be like, dude, I'm really thinking about this. But I think from the very beginning, Judge has expressed his interest in remaining a Yankee and what that means to him. And I think this kind of just proves it. After hearing that Padres offer, I mean, Judge's intentions were real. He wanted to
Yeah,
remain a Yankee. He just wanted to squeeze every single cent he could out of Hal Steinbrenner,
and,
which, I mean, hey, you deserve it, man. Go
of
get your
course,
bag. But,
of
you
course.
know, I think his intentions were to re-sign with the Yankees this entire time. But he like we just said, he wanted to get paid for what he deserves.
Yeah,
And on this market that I mean, baseball is just skyrocketing in contracts. I mean, we saw it. I mean, we're seeing it right now. And so it's like for for Aaron Judge to get paid, and remain a Yankee, he wanted to make sure he wasn't getting screwed over. So
right. Of
yeah,
course, and
I mean,
deservedly so, getting that money.
yeah,
It's
definitely deserves it.
it's insane because I mean, the reporters were saying it today. A bunch of them tweeted it that like shout out to Aaron Judge for his negotiations.
Oh, his
Like
tactics were great,
nothing,
man.
nothing leaked the
Yeah.
entire time. If
Yep.
it was basically either strategic or BS.
Hmm.
And no one knew what was going on with him at all. No one knew the Padres were involved. No one really knew the Yankees offer until today. Like
Yep.
we only heard one other offer that ate for 300, right? Or something like
Yeah.
that. That was maybe this past week.
Yeah, the
But
Yankees had two offers on the table, one for I forget the years, but it was 288, and then the next was 8 years for 300.
yeah, but
So
that
that it
didn't
was a
come
couple
out right
days ago.
away. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
exactly. So it's kind of it was crazy. Shout out to them. Judge got his money. Yankees got their star, their captain. But hold on, we have to talk about last night though. This whole John Heyman
Yes,
fiasco.
because Giants fans, you still got somebody. You got Arson Judge, dude. I mean, it can't get much better than that, right?
Yeah, some say he's better than Aaron Judge.
Some do. I mean, I'm not taking that. I'm not going for that, but
I'd
some
prefer
people may
Aaron
say.
Judge, but but that was insane. Oh
So,
my,
okay.
I was so pissed off.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to get into. So I want to know what you were feeling during this 5 to 7 minutes of John
Yeah.
Heyman going off.
So that was
I want to
seven
know.
minutes, I think.
7 minutes,
So
okay.
the I don't even know if I'm sure this was like trending on Twitter, but did you know that like random I forget the actual account, but the random account that like said that Yankees signed or the Giants signed Judge. I forget
Hmm.
the account, but it was like a no name kind of burner, I guess, is the kind of
Yeah.
account. That's broken news before whoever it was. And they said Judge to the Giants, and they laid out all the contract details. That was probably like 10 minutes or so before Heyman said that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so I read that and I kind of bought it. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Hmm.
like, ah, damn, he's going to the Giants. And then Heyman tweeted it. I was like,
Hmm.
oh my God, dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
But again, we were kind of prepared for it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like I was obviously hurt, but I was like, damn, that sucks. But then he tweets 7 minutes later that it doesn't happen. And I'm like, how do you break the biggest free agent signing possibly in baseball history with regarding hype, like the name, star power,
Everything he
money,
brings to the table, yeah.
everything.
Hmm.
It's like I think that's an argument. It was like it's one of the biggest free agent signings in at least recent baseball history or
Oh, definitely.
history in
Yeah.
general. But and then he's like, "Oh, you know what? I might have jumped the gun." Are you
Well,
kidding
John,
me?
well, John, you pissed off millions of Yankee fans in the process of doing that. So,
It's crazy. I was like I was pissed off for like the next hour because I couldn't
yeah.
believe it.
Hmm.
Because he's probably the most respected or like most highly touted MLB analyst.
Top five easily. I mean, you have Passan and Rosenthal, and then it's, I believe, John Heyman
Yeah,
afterwards. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. And then you have
yeah,
JP Marassi, and
yeah.
the list goes on. But
r-
I mean, John Heyman is one of the more respected reporters. So
Yeah,
obviously, when he tweets, you're gonna like believe it.
of course. And again, one of it's not like we were talking about the Andrew Heaney to the Rangers signing.
Oh God,
We're
yeah.
talking about
The biggest.
Aaron Judge to the Giants. And then 7 minutes later, he's like, sorry, I think I might have jumped the gun.
Well, John,
Are
don't you
you
think?
kidding? It was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Oh boy,
But
man.
oh my God. And then we had to
Yeah.
wait, of course, until next morning. I thought it was gonna come like within an hour or so, like and
Hmm.
finalize the deal. Had to wake up next morning. Oh man, that sucked. That was insane.
Yeah. So like for me personally, I came home after work, blah blah blah. I did my routine, whatever. And then right when I was sitting down to, relax for the night, whatever, I got this tweet from John Heyman. And I'm like, okay, well, first off, you misspelled it, but that's besides the point. So now you're blowing up Twitter. And as we just mentioned, the biggest free agent of this market, possibly recent history, even
Yeah,
MLB history. And then a couple minutes later, you, say you're pulling your tweet back. So whatever. But my whole thought process is like, okay, great. Now it just holds off the inevitable.
right.
Because for me, John Heyman must have gotten that information from someone, whether it, whoever it
Of
was.
course.
But for me, I was like, he had to have a reason to tweet that out.
Yeah,
So I thought for sure, like, yeah, he could have gotten it wrong in the moment, but you know, being well respected, I expected him to get his information from a good source. So I was waiting for it to happen. And it got to the point where it was just like, I'm just gonna go to bed and, probably wake up in the morning and see that Judge signed with the Giants.
right.
Um, but then it's like then this morning I feel like it just came as more of a shock because of everything that went down last night. So it be having that like shock, seeing the tweet that Judge is actually coming back to the Bronx, it just, it kind of blew my mind after everything that happened with Heyman last night.
Yeah. And with- like you said, with the whole Heyman thing, we went through the heartbreak for that 7 minutes
Oh my
that
God, dude.
Judge left. So I was thinking, right, once, like you said, we are waiting for the tweet, the actual tweet of Judge signing with the Giants.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I already went through the 7 minutes of heartbreak thinking I, I went through 7 minutes of Aaron Judge being a Giant already.
Yeah.
So even if it happens, I'm like, yeah, all right. Like
Yeah, you kind
I
of
wouldn't
prepared
have been
yourself
upset.
for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then the flip side of that, once he signs with the Yankees, it's the complete opposite. And
Yeah,
because we were expecting the Giants, it made it so much better.
it really did. I mean, and it just I don't know. I mean, it was a crazy thing that happened last night, and for him to come back even after all of those reports, and everything in between coming out saying he's going to San Francisco, and then this morning you get the bombshell, he's coming back to New York. Just made it so much better, I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it was
Giants
early
fans,
too.
yeah, it was early. I think it was like 8:15 in the morning it
Yeah.
happened.
So in San
And
Diego, it was 5:15.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I was getting ready to start my work day and then bam, got hit with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, and
Giants
Giants
fans.
fans, dude, I feel so bad. I mean, they must I don't even want to picture what they were like, going through. I mean, on the flip side, us Yankee fans, we were, distraught. We were like, okay, well, he's leaving. Now we got to think about, Correa, Bogarts, and all those guys, whatever. But then you have a team who you think you just got the biggest free agent on the market, possibly in MLB history, and it's going to be a game changer because a few hours ago you just signed Mitch Haniger. So you have
Yeah.
Mitch Haniger paired up with Judge in the outfield and Jock Peterson. That for Giants fans that could be like, whoa, making upgrades. But then bam, they get hit with, oh wait, my team is actually not getting the biggest free agent. And then this morning they wake up, well, 5:15 for those
Right.
fans. They wake up and is like, um, what just happened in the last 12 hours? It's
Yeah,
it's tough, man.
yeah, like you said, it's crazy to think because we obviously are at the highest of highs now today,
Yeah,
and lowest of lows at whatever time it was last night when Heyman said that, and then it's the complete opposite for the Giants
completely
fans.
reversed. Yep.
So I wonder
Yeah,
now, do the Giants still go after a big fish, or
I
were they
feel like
just
they
so
do.
focused on Judge,
I think the
Because they were
Giants.
obviously willing to hand out 350, 360 to Judge. Did they do that with another team now or another player? I don't know.
I mean, for the sake of Giants fans, I really hope they do.
Yeah.
Because if, I mean, like we just said, if you go through this emotional roller coaster of losing out on Judge and thinking you had him for a whole 7 minutes, and now your team goes away with what? Your biggest free agent being Mitch Haniger. And I mean, Carlos Rodon, it's not looking good for him to re-sign with them. Hopefully to us. But and the fact is like, you were going through thinking Judge is going to be a Giant, and now you're coming away with nothing. So for their sake, for Giants fans, I really hope they do get a Bogarts, a Correa. I mean, there is still a lot of good guys left on the board,
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, and I
But
mean
there's
it's
no
only
Aaron
winter
Judge.
meetings, but there's no Aaron Judge exactly. So I mean, use the money and make your fans, think that you want to win even after this happened. So for Giants fans, I hope that they, you know, get one of these big guys, but
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
That was just it's been a crazy 24 hours. It was probably close to that when Heyman tweeted that
yeah,
about this time yesterday.
yeah.
It's
It's
awesome
been
though.
it's been crazy. So yeah, I mean now this is I think this is like a perfect transition right here. So as we're talking about Judge, how do we go about this offseason? Because right now we have the same team we did last year, just a little bit more expensive, and we don't have Andrew Benintendi yet.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're basically the same team without
Uh,
Benintendi. So where do we go from here? Dude, okay, what's your opinion? Do you think Hal is gonna stop the train here, or is he gonna keep it going?
I think they have to keep it going. I'm
Right?
sure the conversation between Hal and Judge last night or this morning, whatever it was, late this morning, early this morning, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
he had to have said, you know what, come here. Where because why would of course Judge wants to be a Yankee, clearly.
Yeah.
But it's this like you said, it's the same exact team. We need to upgrade. Rodon, obviously, I
Mm-hmm.
think is the number one guy across all Yankee fans' boards right now for the next signing.
Mm-hmm.
And then do we go after Benintendi or um what's his name? Yoshida?
Oh boy, I don't even want to try to pronounce that, so we're gonna leave it at that. But yes, I
Yeah.
do I know exactly
I
what you
want
mean.
I want him over Benintendi.
Okay, okay. I haven't been hearing that too much.
I know, but
You
I kind of do. Just
you might be
because
the
it's like,
minority here.
yeah, no, I probably am, but I don't know. I just like everything that I've read about him, I wish I could pronounce it. Like I feel
I
I think
know.
it's Yoshida. I don't know.
It's yeah,
But
it's
we'll get to
somewhere.
know it
Yeah.
once he's a Yankee, but but I don't know. I every time our phones are vibrating, we're getting so many Twitter
Oh, I
updates. We
know.
just keep looking down at our phones. If
Yeah.
people are listening, we just keep looking down. But it's just John Heyman misspelling tweets again. But
Go Camels.
go Camels.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, I think it has to be Rodon
Yeah.
because that pitching rotation would be unbelievable.
Hmm.
And then some sort of another outfielder. And I think if that's it, I would be happy. I would be
I
thrilled,
agree.
actually. I would be
Hmm.
thrilled because I think
Hmm.
that's really, I don't know if that's realistic. It is realistic, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Getting Rodon, another ace,
Hmm.
basically, and then a high-end outfielder. It's asking a lot, but I don't wouldn't say it's impossible.
See, the way I look at this is like, so we've all Yankee fans have been, calling Hal cheap, saying Hal isn't George, whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is exactly what you said. You've re-signed Judge, you've re-signed Rizzo. Now you have the same team, but you have to keep going. You're already putting out, I don't know, over $400 million locked in between two players. Why not keep going? Because you have the same team as you did last year who got swept in the ALCS by the Houston Astros. So the way that I look at it is my number one would be Carlos Rodon without a shadow and a doubt. It's adding Carlos Rodon to this rotation is insane to think about. You put Cole and Rodon at the top of the rotation, then it goes to Nestor, who had an unbelievable 2022. Having him as your three is kind of ridiculous. Then you have, guys, Luis Severino, your number
Yeah,
four. Are
yeah,
you kidding me? Like, come on. And even Sevy and Cortez could be switched. However it is. And I think, the Yankees have a little bit more faith in Severino because he's been here so long. So Severino is your three, Cortez is your four, and at the moment you have Frankie Montas as your five. Imagine Frankie Montas being your swing man with Cortez or Severino as your fifth starter. Adding Rodon would be huge. And I think it needs to be number one priority. And from what I've been hearing, the Yankees and Rodon have a lot of mutual interest. So that's
yeah.
something to look out for. Now it's going to cost you a lot of money, obviously. So with the
Probably another
outfield such
close to 30-ish, maybe.
most, yeah, AAV at least. So it's now if you go to your outfielder situation and you say to yourself, we've already locked up so much money between two guys in Rodon and Judge. So do you go to the trade market? Because now you have Brian Reynolds available. Well, I don't know what they're doing over in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You never do because Pittsburgh's just a dumpster fire. So, like, I mean, do you offer Jason Dominguez or do you, try to play Oswaldo even more than you did last year? Because you still have Bader locked up for at least another year. So, an outfield of Oswaldo, Judge, and Bader wouldn't be terrible. I
No.
mean, if
But
if you
again,
want
it's
to
the same
use
exact thing as last year.
it is. It that's exactly what it is. So it's like, do you want to get another big bat in there? And then you can have Oswaldo. I mean, who knows what they're gonna do with Donaldson and IKF because as far as some of the reports are, Donaldson and Hicks are being shopped.
Hmm.
So I mean, third base could be open. You can move IKF to third base and as Waldo or Oswald as your shortstops.
Right.
But then you also have Anthony Volpe, who is going to be competing for that spot as well.
Hmm. Yeah. There are so many different ways we can go with this because obviously I would say the next few steps are signing Rodon and getting money off the books.
Yes,
Because
100%.
think about it. Garrett Cole, 36 million, Judge 40, Rodon possibly 30.
Stanton's in the high
Those th
20s,
Yeah. Rizzo was what? What did we say? Was it 20 or
20,
18 some or 20 something?
23, I think.
Whatever.
I don't know for sure, but yeah.
Whatever it was. It was something around there. That's only a few players and that's a lot of money.
And Aaron
They need
Hicks
to
is
get
making 10 million a year. I
yeah,
mean,
to do what? Be the fifth outfielder probably.
sixth at this
Or
point.
but yeah, they need to get money off the books in order to get improve the team, basically, is what it comes
Hmm.
down to.
Yeah, and another thing that we didn't mention is if they want to spend big on an outfielder, fine and well, and they skip on Rodon, then you have the trade market. Last trade last trade deadline, you had Gleyber Torres shopped to the Marlins for Pablo Lopez. It didn't go through, but that's still an option. I mean, Miami's you can always trade with them. That's just kind of how they are. So, I mean, you never know. But yes, I totally agree with you. Donaldson's making absolutely way too much money. We were that was looking hindsight back at it now that trade, man. I mean, I don't know, but either way, taking on his money was ridiculous. And
Yeah.
now with him and Hicks making way too much money, you need to do whatever, even if you have to attach like a top 20 to
Labor
30
or
prospect
or
onto it
even like
or
a big
Glaber.
labor, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to attach one of them onto it, go ahead. I mean,
It
you
sucks,
got to
but
cut some of this payroll.
yeah, it sucks. It would suck. I would hate to see Glaber go, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's probably the smarter move because DJ is going to be healthy, all this stuff, all these spots in the infield that we don't have. I don't
And we
know.
have our abundance of shortstops. I mean, off the top of my head, we
Yeah.
have Cabrera, Peraza, Volpe, Sweeney, who should be coming up within the next couple of years. You have four high-end prospects who are all middle infielders.
Hmm.
So Glaber might not be needed anymore,
Yeah,
especially with Peraza getting some MLB time, DJ coming back, as you mentioned, and of course we have Cabrera who can play anywhere.
right.
I mean, he even said that he'd be emergency catcher if he needs to. So, I mean, his versatility means so much to this team. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of ways that I feel like we're going to be in store for a lot of moves coming up, especially after this whole Judge thing. Um,
yeah,
so
me
I'm
too.
excited to
It's gonna
see
be a
it.
whole domino effect.
It really
Me too.
is. That's how I feel. But
I know.
um,
I'm
Buff,
excited.
yeah, I guess we can have a quick goodbye, Jameson Tyone. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
I'm glad he got his money,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think a little bit too much,
but
but
that's
hey,
just the market. Like, look at
that's
Taiwan
exactly what we're
Walker.
saying.
Yeah,
But either way, Jameson Tyone, great 2 years in the Bronx.
yeah,
I mean, he was such a likable guy. He was so consistent. You knew what you were getting out of him.
yeah.
So best of luck in Chicago. Really
Of
hope it
course.
works out for you. Um, and as we're saying goodbye to somebody, we're welcoming back an old friend, Tommy
Oh
Canley,
yeah.
is back in the Bronx.
He's
Boy, oh
awesome.
boy. Yeah, he's had some injury issues, but he looked great at the end of last year with the Dodgers.
Yeah,
So, and his
yeah.
changeup, man, I am so glad that's back in New York. I can't
And just
wait.
his personality too. He's just
Oh yeah.
awesome. I love him.
Yeah,
He's great.
he's a great guy.
Yeah, when I got that notification, I was like, you know what? It's not Judge, but I'm really happy about this.
Dude, I was ecstatic to make that post, man. I mean,
Yeah,
that was great. That was
yeah.
fun.
That's awesome. I'm happy for that, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Hopefully, next by the next time we talk, Carlos Rodon is a Yankee,
Hmm.
and maybe some other surprise moves. Who knows what Cashman and Steinbrenner have up their sleeve? They surprised us with this Judge thing. They pulled it off. Hopefully, they surprise us with some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a few surprises in free agency, but for some reason, Cashman loves that trade market. I mean, he's showed that to us the last couple of years. So I have a feeling that we might not get surprised too much in the free agent market, but I'll tell you one thing, come trades, anything's possible.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we'll
yeah,
see. I'm excited.
yeah.
Judge is
Aaron
a Yankee for
Judge,
life. Put the C on his
yes.
chest, and let's get some more players.
Boy, oh boy, let's do it, man.
All right, sounds good. All right, see ya.
Yep. See ya.